welcome to the video. Bit of a treat today. We're riding the 2017 BMW S1000RR. I've literally just jumped on it. So this is going to be a bit of a first impressions ride. And see what I think of it. First impressions are, from sitting straight on it, it feels very soft, a bit like an armchair, particularly compared to the 1199, although that's not comfy, but it actually feels quite comfy, albeit the pegs are quite high. It's currently in sport mode, which is the default setting, and the throttle is extremely gentle for the first bit of travel. Brake's got a bit of travel before it engages, and I think I just need to adjust the clutch lever slightly. There's quite a reach to the clutch lever. I'm sure I can just adjust that. And one thing that it does feel is extremely planted and stable. It feels like it's really happy to keep its line, and this bike has a quick shifter up and down. On the way up, straight forward. On the way down, you just have to go off the throttle, and it'll change down for you. See where the mirrors want to be. But they're actually pretty good. Quick shifter on the way down and up is very smooth. Of note, this bike hasn't got the fancy CFT dashes of all the other new bikes that are out. Saying that my 1199, it's a 2012 model, has the CFT dash. Although I do like to see the tack in the middle. That is nice to see. A bit of a combination, I think, would have been nice. A bit of colour. There's quite a lot going on this dash at the moment. And the old LCD characters just look a bit out of date, if I'm honest. Now, this bike's got all the toys, all the electronics. It started the ball rolling, was it 2010? With all the electronics on a bike like this. This one still has them. Again, first observations of what you look at when you're riding. There's nothing special here. I suppose you don't look at that when you're riding. It's about the riding experience and how it feels, etc. Well, let's see if we can take this right hand bend just here. So I know for a fact that these roads are extremely bumpy. And this feels amazing. Absolutely amazing. It generates the speed. It very much creeps up on you. It's actually very quiet. Again, I'm used to a noisy V-twin. It doesn't need a great deal of encouragement to get a bit of a lick on. We're on a reasonably sensible road. Let's the cruise control. See if I can make that work. It's on. That's set. So as soon as you use the throttle, it turns itself off. As soon as you touch the brake, work with the back brake. Yep. Now what else have we got? We've got the different modes. I don't know if I can actually change them while I'm on the go. No, it's not giving the option. Let's see what it is at low revs. I'll get it right to the bottom. That is extremely smooth. Can't fault that. Can't fault the fueling whatsoever. There. Third gear from about 18 miles per hour. Smooth as you like. You definitely know when you put it in gear. You need a bit more throttle to pull away than I'm used to. Talking about comfort and how does it fare, the seat actually feels quite comfy. It's definitely got some give in it, and the actual where the tank meets the seat feels quite narrow, although it does open out quite a lot, so your legs are quite splayed. And as I am at the moment with my toes on the pegs, as you can see there, so your feet are quite high, but it's not actually an uncomfortable position. There's not a great deal of weight on my wrists as I'm riding at the moment. The wind blast coming back at you. Again, there's not a great deal at all. There's a little bit obviously, but not a great deal. It's not turbulent, you know, my head's not getting banged around all over the place. I think I'd find doing a few miles on this an absolute doddle. You can tour on this easily. What's really nice about that throttle is that low speed manoeuvres like that, while it's initially really elastic, shall we say, it allows you to make quite large inputs without a great deal of reaction from the bike. For low speed manoeuvring like that, it really helps. So let's see if there's somewhere that I can pull over and show you the bike. Let's have a look round then. This is the 2017 BMW S1000RR. See, it's Euro 4 compliant with the reflector. It's the proper Brembo brakes. So this one's in the colour that personally I least like. It's a white and red, I believe, that colour scheme, and then the BMW Motorsport colour scheme. Brembo rear brake. Look at the dash. I'll come around the other side for a proper look at that. See the quick shifter down there, like I said. Flipper on the way down, quick shifter on the way up. And not to everyone's taste, but I don't mind it, to be fair. The squinty headlights. That's what you're presented with when you turn it on. Closer look, a few flashing lights. They all go off when you start it. Just to start. So it'll probably be a completely separate video to go through all the different modes and settings, things like that. I won't do that now, so just a quick test ride. Okay, let's get back on. Before I go any further, I should really thank the guys at Wollaston BMW for letting me have a ride of this bike today. It wasn't something that was planned. I actually went for a cup of coffee at I think it's Riders Cafe, which is actually part of the dealership. It's a BMW car and bike dealership, and you can find yourself spending a lot of money in that dealership. Can't fault the guys there. And around this roundabout, it feels absolutely brilliant. Steering damper down there. You don't see it straight away. I've spotted it as I've been riding. I'm trying to work out in my head whether, because this bike is so good at what it does, it's so comfy, it rides faultlessly, slow speed handling is brilliant. Does that actually take away from the overall experience? I'd imagine it's an absolute weapon. What a stupid word. I'd imagine it's fantastic on track. But when you're on a bike that's this good at doing the basics right, does that overall take away from the ride itself, or the experience, or am I actually trying to justify why I will more likely prefer, change my mind going this way, more likely prefer to stick with the Panigale? With the gear change, you do need to give it a good clonk to get it in, and you can feel the clonk when you do put it in. And it works perfectly fine. No issues with it whatsoever. Shall we just say it's a little bit clonky? And that's more to do with the action than the actual engagement. One thing you are aware of when you're riding this bike is that you're not even scratching the surface of what it's telling you and what you can feel it is capable of. And that's cross country, it's an absolute missile. But you only realise that once you try and do that sort of thing. You can drive around town all day and be perfectly comfortable. Well, you're not even going anywhere near what it's capable of, even on the road. Even now, today, on this ride, I won't even get close. One of the differences with this bike, I've already mentioned it, that the suspension and the way it travels over bumps, it makes riding a 200 horsepower superbike actually quite unintimidating. And I think that's one of the words, initial impressions, it's one of the words I'd use to describe this bike, and that's unintimidating. Bloody fast is one of the others. I suppose the real question is, in terms of endorsing this bike, is would I want to swap the 1199 for it? Well, in this colour scheme, the black and the grey, it's a straight no. No chance. I think we're looking around £17,000 if you add in the paint scheme, which is the BMW Motorsport paint scheme, and the light wheels, so akin to the Panigale S. I suppose the Farblade SP as well, which is a 20 grand bike. I honestly think I'd have to live with it for a bit longer. If I actually make the decision, got to find us way back to the dealership at some point. I really need a few more corners with a bit more speed up to see how it feels a bit faster. And I don't know if my right foot I'll have to check. But I don't know if my right foot is close to the exhaust. The exhaust is under my right foot, but I can feel a bit of heat on the ball of my right foot. Left one's fine, but the right foot's definitely feeling some heat. Almost uncomfortably so as well. And that's either just because of the foot peg position and the way where my feet are on it, or it's the heat from the exhaust. Not quite sure at the moment. Not sure if that was the ABS on the brakes kicking in. Brakes right. Yep, the ABS is kicking in. Now, to me that feels like it's kicking in quite early to me, and it did let off the brakes. No doubt about it, it did stop braking. Less than I was actually braking myself. Just try to look this way. Unbelievable. I think this needs an exhaust on it. I think it's just a bit too quiet. And it makes a lovely noise when you wind it on. But that's all induction noise. A few pops, crackles, that kind of caper. So let's see if we can come to some sort of conclusion about this bike. Firstly, let's get the obvious ones out of the way. Is it fast? Yes. Is it expensive? Yes. Does it look nice? Yes, if you get it in the right colours. Don't get the black and grey one. Is it comfy? For the most part, yes. I'm 6 foot. I'm around 15 stone. I say around. Interpret that as you wish. And my backside is very comfy. There's no weight whatsoever on my wrists. It's absolutely brilliant for your wrists. The only issue I find I've got is how high the pegs feel. I do feel that the pegs are actually quite high. I mean, I've got quite a decent bend in my knee, and my right foot is warm, but my left one isn't. So it's a bit of a mixed bag on comfort, 50-50 for me. What about things like corner instability, suspension? Well, the suspension is absolutely marvellous. There's no fancy electronic trickery going on with the suspension. Not sure what that is. Whether there is electronic suspension, I'll have to ask. If there is, you'll see on the screen now. What else can I say about the bike? The throttle very relaxed in town. Very relaxed everywhere actually. So is it going to be fast enough for you? Absolutely. All these 1000cc bikes are more than fast enough. You don't need anything more. I don't think you need any more than the 600. I think the 750 class is the sweet spot. There's a dealership. I'll come back round in a second. Does it feel special to ride? And that's the thing I'm completely struggling with. It's very, very good. It's a brilliant bike. And apart from an absolute straight line monster, thinking what else does it actually offer? It offers a lot. It's a damn good bike.